Hello and welcome back to the channel, guys. So today we're going to be having a look at the RX 9070 XFX. We're going to be looking at the thermals of the card. We're going to be having a look at the performance and the quiet BIOS. We're going to be comparing it to the 9070 XT card. And overall, just looking if it's worth buying this model of the card in general. So stick around, guys, and also look at the conclusion at the end if you guys are wondering if I recommend this card or not. So this card comes with a quiet and a performance BIOS. Also, guys, make sure to restock your PC after switching the BIOS. Card's weighing in at 1,395 grams, which is £3. The card is 32 centimeters long, which is 12.5 inches. The card is 12 centimeters wide, which is 4.7 inches. This GPU has a HDMI 2.1 and 3 DisplayPort 2.1s. This card boosts to 2,700 MHz, has 3,584 shading units, 56 compute units, it has a 256 memory bit bus, 16 gigabytes of GDDR6, also has 56 RT cores, and this GPU is 3.5 slots wide. To power this GPU, you're going to need two PCIe 8-pin power connectors. And also, go into the XFX website, you can see that they've put the wrong shader units. And also, they put that they recommend the 800-watt power supply, which, to be honest, with this card, you really just need a 650-watt power supply to run it. XFX website here, we're not really seeing much about this GPU, except from them talking about the nickel-plated copper cold plate that they're using here, the double ball bearing fans, the 6mm heat pipes that they're using here. That's about it here that we can see on the website here, guys. And also, I can tell you that this card is pretty heavy as well. And also, the backplate is metal, which helps a lot with the dissipation of the heat. And also, the whole GPU itself is plastic. It's using 3 fans. And yeah, that's about it about this card, guys. There's not really much to say here. It does have a little XFX logo that lights up in white as well. I'm not sure if you can change the color on it. I don't think you can. I've not checked, to be honest, but I just leave it on white anyway. These are the cards that I'm going to be running in today's benchmarks. As you guys can see, the RX 9070 XFX is the biggest card out of all of them here, measuring at 3.5 slots wide. It's a massive card, guys. It has massive cooling potential here. It is the quietest out of all of them when you tune it properly. It also does pull way less power than the other cards, which literally allows it to run really silently. These are all the PC specs here, guys, even the recording PC specs here. So go in the description below, guys, if you want to see more. Right, guys, so here we have the card running for about 10 minutes in The Last of Us Part 2 Remastered, and we're hitting 61 degrees C here. We're hitting 84 degrees C on the memory temp, and we're seeing 1,500 RPM on the fans. We're using 13 gigabytes of VRAM here. We're pulling around 245 watts. As you guys can see, the fans are running pretty loud here, and I would recommend turning the fans down, because as you guys can see, we're only hitting 61 degrees on the core here, so there's no need for it to run this loud. Yeah, literally turning the fans down would be the best thing to do here, guys, because this is way too loud, and 61C is giving us such a headroom here that you can literally turn it down to like maybe 1,200, 1,100 RPM, and you should be completely fine considering this card only pulls 245 watts. Alright, guys, so we got the silence BIOS on now, and it doesn't seem to be a really big difference here. Like, we're only seeing like one degree on the core difference here, and I don't know, 50 RPM lower fan speeds here, so it doesn't really seem to do anything here. It's good to have, though, honestly, in case something happens with that BIOS and it corrupts or something. It's always good to have a second BIOS, but it doesn't seem to be bringing any difference here at all. The fans seem to be practically the same speed. The temperatures on the core here seem to be just the same as well. Nothing really changes here at all, guys, so switching the BIOS doesn't really do much. Like I said before, I think the best thing to do is just, I don't know, go onto MSI Afterburner, your fans to 1,100 RPM, something like that, and you should be completely fine. You should have really good temps, and the card should be running really well still. Alright, guys, so we're playing FORZA Horizon 5 here. We're testing the RTX 5070 Ti, the RX 9070 and the RX 9070 XT, and here we can see the RX 9070 XT pulling ahead around 10, maybe 15 FPS in some areas here. It does depend where you look at the game, though, so yeah, it really does depend on that, guys, but roughly around 10 FPS, something like that. It does pull away. So looking at the 5070 Ti here, I'm really not impressed, guys. If you think about the amount of money it costs, it really doesn't give you that much here if you think about it. But the only thing that I really like about the 5070 Ti is that the power draw is way lower than the RX 9070 XT here, but the performance here is not really that great if you think about it, honestly, because the RX 9070 here has a bit lower power draw and it has about the same performance in this game. Right, we have The Last of Us Part 2 Remastered here. We're seeing that the RTX 5070 Ti and the RX 9070 XT are having roughly the same amount of FPS. The RX 9070 here has around 10 to 15 FPS less than the other cards, but it is the cheapest out of all of these cards here, so I think it's justifiable here. Also, I've noticed that the RTX 5070 Ti has the worst 1% lows here out of all the cards that we have here. I've noticed that the 5070 Ti is the best power draw here for the amount of FPS you get in this game, so it's pulling 260 watts and we're getting 114, 115 FPS, and the RX 9070 XT is pulling 320 watts and we're getting roughly the same FPS, so the power draw is like 60 watts less, and the RX 9070 has the lowest power draw but has the worst performance too. So we got ATOMFALL here, 4K max settings, native resolution here, because this game doesn't support any upscaling, and we're seeing here that the 5070 Ti pulls ahead quite a bit, guys, like 20 FPS here compared to the RX 9070 XT, and around nearly 25-30 FPS more than the RX 9070 here. Then quite a bit better than the other cards here. The RTX 5070 Ti in this title seems to be pulling way more FPS than it was in other titles here. We're seeing nearly 300 watts of power draw here, so it's very close to the RX 9070 XT in this scenario. The RX 9070 is not doing too bad considering it is pulling like 50 to 60 watts less than the other cards are. Also, if you undervolt the RX 9070, you can close the gap between these cards. Alright guys, so we got our last test here. So we got GTA 5 Enhanced. We're playing with 4K max settings, Radeon Ultra. And we got the 5070 Ti here, pulling ahead quite a bit, guys. Around 20 FPS more. It's even 30 from the RX 9070 and the RX 9070 XT here. And yeah, it's just, to be quite honest, it is quite demolishing these cards here, but it is very high. Like, it's ultra settings here with RT, so it's really demanding, and you can see that the Nvidia cards are still quite a bit faster with RT on. You can also see that the RX 9070 power draw here is quite significantly lower than the other cards like before in the other test. This card is really good, honestly, because it's really quiet when you tune it properly. You can really get quite a lot of performance out of it. You can undervolt it as well and get even more FPS out of this card, so really good card, guys, honestly. To the conclusion here, I think it's a pretty decent card. You pull less power than the other cards. You get quite a good performance here, as you guys can see in the benchmarks here, and it does seem to be quite loud, this card, but when you tune the fans properly, it can be really quiet and low noise and high performance though. It only pulls like 250 watts, so you can really get a good performance here, not a lot of noise. I don't think I heard any coil whine on this card either, because it just doesn't pull that much power, so it is a pretty decent card overall, guys, honestly, and compared to the other card prices as well, it seems like a really good deal. Here in the UK, I saw that you can get it for around £600. The XT version you can get for £700, and the RTX 5070 Ti you can get it for like, I don't know, £750, £800, so it's way more than the other cards here. So I think if you guys want to have a low power draw here, quiet card, and a quite good performance here, as you guys could see from these benchmarks, I think it's a great card for some of you guys, honestly. But if you have a bigger budget and you do want to spend more on the card, get a little bit more performance, but it's going to be quite significantly loud. Like the XT version of the HELLHOUND card that I was testing there has quite a lot of coil whine, I have to say, and it was quite loud. But if you do want to get that extra performance, you can still do it, guys, honestly. And before doing this review here, I was thinking, who the hell would want to buy a RX 9070 when the RX 9070 XT is like, I don't know, in the UK here, it's like £100 more. And to be honest now, looking at it, it's still worth it because you pull in 60 watts less. You know, the power bill is going to be lower. Think about it, guys. If let's say you play 10 hours a day and 60 watts getting pulled for 10 hours a day more, it does add up, guys, honestly. It does add up. So it does depend who you are. If you don't care if the power in your country is like lower, it doesn't really matter that much. But here in the UK, it's quite expensive, so think about it. Pulling 60 watts more is gonna over time add up. So the build quality of this card is really good as well. It does have a metal backplate. The shroud itself is plastic, but it still does the job. It's quite a big card, honestly. It's 3.5 slots, so it's a quite a big card. It does cool really well. You just have to tune them fans a little bit because they are a bit loud. But if you turn it down a bit, you should be getting really good temps and really good performance still. And you can undervolt the card as well just to get even more FPS. So really decent card overall, guys. Let me know in the comments below, guys, what you guys think about this card. Alright, so I'm going to end the video here, guys. Let me know if you enjoyed the video and what review you guys want to see next. See you guys in the next one. Thank you for watching.